Yo, what up, everyone? Welcome back to Surface Series. I'm your host, Jordan Lachey. This is j.sprays, and this is the show where we show you what goes on into making sports happen. Now, college football is back, and we're ready for it. We're here for it. We're here for it to stay. We're here for it to stay for a while. I'm here to watch it, and if there's one thing that this country agrees on, it's that college football's back, and we're ready. College football's back. I'm so stoked for it. And I got my bark on because we're going up to the Bulldogs today. We're going up to Fresno State, Fresno, California. It was a drive for me, if I'm being honest, but it was a fun one. And I have a lot to tell you guys about this because this was a lot. This was absolutely a lot of work. And it wasn't just the work. It was a lot of other stuff involved. And so I'm excited to tell you everything from the start to the end and show you all the visuals that go into it. Painting on the logos on the football field. So I'm not going to talk too much longer in this intro. I'm just going to take us to this video so we can watch it. All right, let's just get on to it. Now, I told you guys that I had a story time for you, and I am not lying because I'm about to tell you right now. Now, I'm going to start from the very beginning. The very beginning was I was reached out to about questions about painting on Tuesday, and it wasn't really about me painting. It was just the type of paint and stuff like that, and I'm happy to answer questions for anybody, and I love when people reach out. Absolutely. And then I get a call Thursday. Saying, hey, we actually need you to come out here and paint on Friday. Now, Thursday to Friday, it's a 5 to 6 hour drive for me. And we're in football season already. So it's not an easy little turnaround for me, but I had to get it done because I wanted to do this job. And I'm glad that I did because I wouldn't be able to tell you the story if it didn't happen. Now, so I got that call on Thursday. Ended up going to work Friday like I normally do, getting off around 4:30 or whatever. Ended up leaving around 5:30, pretty much just after work. Had to go get my paint stuff. And from LA to Fresno, my drive was about 5-6 hours. I think it was closer to 6. I ended up getting there around 10:30 p.m., something like that. And when I got there, you saw me setting up my paint machine at the very beginning. My paint machine, I brought 2 of them. I always bring at least 2 paint machines. First one that I usually use, not working. One of the hoses snapped. And so that was a major problem because I couldn't keep the machine running for more than a second because the hose was snapped and I did not know how to fix that one. Now I've become a little bit of a mechanic on my paint machines, but not for that level. Not in that level, and I was sweating. But thankfully I had a second paint machine. But you know what the second paint machine is not doing? Working. I could get it to turn on. I could get it to do sound good and everything, but I couldn't get it to spray anything. Now, after about an hour or so of me working on the paint machines, trying to get one of the 2 to work, going back and forth between the 2, stressful, sweating. And I mean, I always have backups. I had paint brushes. I had paint rollers. These logos were going to get done no matter what, but I would way rather use the paint machines for logos this big. Absolutely. And I had to do it twice. The game was the next day on Saturday evening. I had to get these done. And like I said, I woke up at 5 in the morning that day because I had work. I had stuff to do. I didn't get done till 4:30, and then I had to drive up to Fresno. 5-6 hours, like I said, 10:30 p.m. is when I got there. Got the paint machine working after an hour and a half, and the sigh of relief that I had when a paint machine finally started working was pure bliss. So you see me doing this paint job already, and my God, the stress is pretty much gone because this is the easy part for me. The easy part is the paint job. Everything outside of it, that's where it gets a little tough. Now, thankfully, you don't really see her, but my fiance, my soon-to-be wife, was absolutely helpful, incredibly helpful in this one because I honestly could not have done it without her. Now, with a quick turnaround like that, it's not like there are too many people that are going to be able to just jump on a plane or jump in a car with me for that many hours the very next night and just go do that paint job, but she was able to do that. She was able to just hop on a flight that night. She flew there. I'm glad that she flew there because she didn't have to sit in the car with me on that drive up there and then just get straight out and start painting. That would have been very tiring for her. Now, I'm sure the flight was tiring, but she hopped on that flight and she just got to painting. She started painting with me. She was there to record for me more than anything, but it got to a point where she started painting with me. And this paint job, you see me just freehanding this right now. I'm doing this freehand circle all the way around this thing. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And don't let me get distracted from the story, but I just want to show you I'm doing this freehand. I had to stop once just because the hose got cut a little short, but I just picked up right where I left off, and there we go. This is a pretty good circle if I do say so myself. But back to the story. So she flew in. She was just going to help me record so I can put this video out for you guys, but she ended up doing some painting. She got her hands dirty. We ended up getting out of this field around, I think, 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that. I mean, my God, I woke up at 5 in the morning the day before. I didn't get done painting until about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then we had to go to the hotel room, sleep for a few hours just so we could go drive home afterwards. I mean, we ended up going to the game. I have a little bit of footage of the game to show you guys because I wanted to make an appearance. I love seeing these logos in action. I love seeing my work in action. And it's college football, baby. I've never been to a Fresno State home game. I've never driven up to Fresno for football, so I'm glad that I got to go. I mean, it was packed for the Fresno State's home opener, and the Bulldogs showed out. The Bulldogs showed out, and they won against Southern University that night. So it was a cool experience. I'm glad. But, I mean, the most fun for me is always the paint. It's always the application, the work that I do on the field, whether it's paint or anything else. But to see it in action is just different for me. It's fun. I love getting to do this stuff. And honestly, I've never really considered that I'd have such a wonderful partner with me that was able to just hop on a plane and go paint with me the day before. She became a D1 painter that very night, that very morning, I do say. It got up to like 3 in the morning. I thought it was going to be done by then. 4 in the morning, I thought it was going to be done by then. 6 in the morning, should have been done by then. But complications arose, and you know what we have to do when there are complications, when there are issues, we have to adjust. That's what it is. That's what we do, and that's what we are. We make it happen. We are problem solvers, and when there are issues, we work through them because that's what you do in sports. That's what you do in life. That's what you do in your job. That's what you do in everything. You just work through the problems and them, figure out a way to do it, figure out a better way for the future so it doesn't happen again. And if it does, you are prepared. And this was definitely a business lesson. This is more of a learning lesson for me, if anything, if I'm being honest, in the paint job. I mean, these last minute jobs are not easy. The paint, like I said, the paint itself was the easiest part. But the paint machine not working, I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know that 2 paint machines were going to give me problems. And like I said, I always come prepared with paint brushes, with paint rollers, with line markers if I need to. It's going to get put down. There's not an issue of it getting put down. But I do say one more issue that we had was that this was a very last-minute thing, and we almost didn't have enough paint. And if I'm being completely honest, we didn't have enough white paint. We did not have enough white paint for this. You see me putting down the white application, and I don't have too much video of it because I was already getting stressed out and I was sweating. And like I said, we're up all night through the morning to do this. So I was not in charge of getting the paint. I was not in charge of anything other than coming up and getting the paint job. So I was able to give advice, but a lot of it was really out of my control. So we didn't have enough white paint. That's why you see me with the paint roller just scrubbing this down. My soon-to-be wife was doing the same thing, getting her hands dirty, and it was awesome to see. I absolutely love that. I did not need her to do that, but she did, and it was a tremendous help, if I do say so myself. But the center part of that logo, like I said, we had to paint this logo twice, and there was not enough white paint. Eventually, it did get solved, and I'll show you the final result from when I finish compared to what it looks like on game day, because you wouldn't know that there were any issues once the game day comes. But this logo, I mean, like I said, not enough white paint, so we had to make what we had work. I mean, I had to use some grass paint for this, which I do not like doing on artificial turf. I don't want to use the wrong kind of paint, but it's not like it's going to hurt the turf. It's not anything. I just worry about the longevity of it. But we're putting it down. We're doing it, and it's getting its work. It's going to last for the game, and there's no issues with that. But that center, that's what it looked like for that logo. That's what it looked like for this logo. And this is the final result of the logo. I mean, I think it looks pretty good, other than a little inconsistencies with the white, but this was a second logo. And I just wanted to show you, I'm not going to show you the entire second logo being painted because it's the same one, but I just wanted to show you different angles of the outside, and I wanted to keep talking and let you guys know a little bit more about what's going on with this. Now, the two guys that I was thankful to work with in this were Jimmy and Mike, and they were awesome. They were really, really awesome in this. They were able to help out with the stencil, and they were watching. They stayed up late as I could have hoped that they would stay up for this paint job because they had to work the entire day the next day. I'm glad that I did not have to work. I had to drive home. I had to drive 5 hours home. Now, that's not an easy drive, but they had to work. They had to work this football game, and it was worth it to them because Fresno State won. Fresno State won the game, so good for them. I'm glad that they got that experience, but my goodness, we need to plan a little better next time. I mean, just get enough white paint. I mean, last-minute stuff. Last-minute stuff. Like I said, it's never really been done before that sponsorship logos were allowed on the fields, on college football fields, so this is the first time, and I'm honored that I was one of the first people to paint a sponsorship logo on a field for college football. It was awesome. Something that not many people will probably brag about other than me because I'm showing you guys what happened. But like I said, this is the second application. This is the second logo. One of them was a lot wider than the other. But by the time the game came, you couldn't really tell that anything was wrong. Nothing was wrong. I mean, the Jimmy and Mike ended up fixing the problem with the white paint, and that just took a little longer. Nothing was open at this time. Nothing was open at 4 or 5 in the morning. You had to wait until 6 or 7 in the morning for anything to happen, and they came in, fixed it at the very end, so I'm thankful that they were able to do that. I did my part. I did everything that I was able to do with the resources provided, and I was able to put down some nice logos. Now, you see, this is when we finally got done. We got there at 10 p.m. when it was dark, and the sun's already coming back up. So I saw the sun come up, go down, go back up, and then I took a little nap for a few hours. Went to a couple different places, sporting events, sporting stadiums, got to see this football game, and it was fun. It was beautiful. I loved it. I'm thankful for the experience. I'm glad that I'm back in my own bed tonight. But look at that. Logo looks great. Logo looks great from a distance right here, and I'm glad that it got put down the way it was supposed to. Now, not every job is equal. Not every job is smooth, but every job gets done the way it's supposed to get done because I'm doing it, right? Like I said, didn't have all the resources, didn't have everything. It was a very last-minute job, and it's not something that everybody really would have just got up and done, but I did it, and I had very good help that was able to help me get this done, and that's what it's about, having a community. I'm thankful for those two guys that were able to call me up, say, hey, can you come paint this logo? Can you come paint this logo? Because it's college football. Somebody's got to do it, and we can't do it, and I got to do it. That's what we did. That's what it is, and that's what we did. I think I said that already. But it was fun. It was a fun time, and I thank you guys for watching. Watching yet again, watching one of these silly little videos showing you how sports are made, specifically the sports surfaces. Like I said, logo painting, another one of these, college football. That was fun. Like, subscribe to the page. I want to keep putting these out for you week after week after week after week, and we're going to keep doing it, all right? I'm going to stay consistent on this page. I'm going to stay showing you what goes on in my life, my business, sports. That's what you're here for. Sports surfaces. That's what my specialty is. So I'm going to keep showing you guys. So thank you guys. Like I said again, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.